In Chapter 15, Long Story Short Rest, our friends play catch-up with their newly rescued boss Jillian, and as they fill her in on their last 3 days of adventures, Jillian recommends they find respite at an old druid's home station nearby. His name is Blom.
Hardly a welcoming man, but his property is as safe as you're likely to find in the area.
Blom? The gentleman who has a big keep out sign on his property.
That sounds familiar, yes.
As they reach the estate, Jillian calls up to Blom, ready to negotiate shelter in exchange for an unknown key in her possession.
I've got something for you, Blom. Perhaps you'd like to see your brother again. How do I know that's the real key? Well, you were with me when he went in, Blom. See for yourself.
With a place to settle in for the night, our friends refocus on their original mission, to scout the Myconid camp Jillian is hoping to destroy. As Blom serves the weary companions some supper, he shares with them why Jillian has his brother locked in a cell in Orange Chupa.
I told Jillian to put him in there.
Oh.
I wanted him in there to keep him from joining the Imperial Army during the war. The plan was to get him out as soon as the war was winding down. But Jillian here went to his house to apprehend him and found a number of correspondences with high-ranking members of the Royal Army revealing that they had a plan to storm Finlock Forest and burn down the Shade Assembly.
Turns out planning to destroy the Shade Assembly is a big no-no to the Shade Assembly and leads to a rather long prison sentence. Anyway, with all the pending questions answered for the evening, Jillian lays out the next step for the mission before heading to bed. Before Jillian's head hits her pillow, Erland knocks on her door, wishing to have a private word about Safira.
I believe Safira to be a liability.
Really?
The mission was to rescue you.
Yes.
We all knew the Black Lion tribe was dangerous. We all knew the Black Lion tribe practiced necromancy. We all knew the Black Lion tribe had you. She feels like she's some moral authority on who gets to live and who gets to die, and it makes me uncomfortable in combat.
Now that everyone finally has a moment to themselves, their unfinished businesses are addressed. Orba takes out the page she was seen holding when she first met our friends and casts Comprehend Languages to understand the scribblings on it.
Doesn't mean anything to you.
I still can't understand it?
Yep.
What?
It
Wait,
could be a code.
meaning like I don't even understand the individual characters? Like...
No.
Safira goes to Erland's room to sort of apologize for her lack of cooperation earlier that day when sneaking up on the barbarians. It doesn't go super well.
Look, I'm sorry. I'm admitting responsibility and you need to let it go.
I'll let it go when you prove...
When I prove
you're
what
capable.
exactly?
When you prove that you're not a liability.
Not a liability. Oh, for Christ's sake, I am hardly the only liability in this group.
After the private conversations between our friends end, they fall into a deep sleep. Except for Erland, who becomes distracted by a quickly growing flower coming from the corner of his room and heading straight toward him. He retreats to the hallway only to find Blom waiting for him.
Your plant?
I have many plants.
What does that plant specifically want with me?
It can smell you.
Smell my what?
I can smell you too.
It's far too late for riddles, friend.
Walk with me.
Are there plants like this in my friends' rooms that I need to be worried about?
No, because I don't think my flowers can smell them.
A greatly mysterious conversation begins about the origins of Erland's odor, which is apparently linked to an unknown power within him.
There are few that manage to survive such a transformation.
And who would I speak to if I indeed wanted to embrace this power?
You probably talk to me.
What would that entail?
And that's where we're going to end for the evening.
Oh my what? He's a player.
I just want to say, I'm the liability.
Will the journey to Mukmu be a safe one? Will the journey to Mukmu be a quiet one with no arguing? Will the journey to Mukmu be an enlightening one where we find out why Erland is so stinky or why Orba is so sneaky? Find out next time on Tabletop Notch.